Bankhead historic legend, Clifford Harris, better known as the man that saved Kmart. He was at a game, the Saints and the Falcons game, with his family, as you should do when you're successful. Take your family out, reward them, feed them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Enjoy life with your family. He was enjoying the Falcons game like he got into it with somebody, King that is. Got into it with somebody. Got a little belligerent, not sure if, you know what I'm saying, he's completely, you know what I'm saying, so he could just be in there having a good time. It's the Falcons and the Saints game. It's like a rap show.
It's very,
you know what I'm saying?
heated.
It's really relaxed. You know what I'm saying? Got into a little bit of an argument apparently, and he and his moms were going back and forth, and he made the cardinal sin that every boy knows you can never do when your mom gets in your face. He moved her away from his face.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business. You know I stand on business. Why you even letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting somebody play with me like that? Why you letting him play with me like that?
Every boy in the world knows when your mom gets in your face, you just gotta eat it being in your face. He made the mistake of giving her a slight push.
Oh, it was like?
It was a slight push. He gave her a slight push away from her, and his dad just swooped in like a hawk.
Embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself. You are embarrassing yourself.
Man, what is you talking about? Get off me. Man, get off me.
But you can't do nothing with me.
Swooped in like a hawk, hemmed him up, and he gave him those fateful old head words. You can't do nothing with me, boy. You can't do nothing with me, boy.
Yeah.
As King said, well, I don't even know why you letting him play with me like that, Mom. Like,
I'm standing on
your
business.
mama,
You know me.
He told his parents he was standing on. I don't know what they know.
What business is he standing on?
All right, T.I. now has a real problem.
Okay.
T.I. now has a problem.
Okay.
Because now T.I. parenting is going to be called to the carpet. I can see it in the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to be asking, well, what kind of kid is he? I don't think he's a kid anymore, right? He like 19, 20, somewhere around that. So how do you guys feel about having to hem your son up, and your grown son, in public? How you feel about arguing with your kids in public?
Is it okay to hem your son up? That's what we're talking about.
Is it okay to put hands on your son? Oh, that's the drop. All right, you have a son.
Yes, I do.
And you have a son.
And I do.
I have a young one.
All right, so are you sparing the rod?
I haven't hemmed up Sage because he's only 2, but
You be doing some stuff.
but
though.
he has gotten, some timeouts and some,
Right.
and some little pops, or to a certain extent.
So-
but I think what makes this whole scenario just weird, in my opinion, is that first of all, King was on live.
Yeah, we
He
didn't.
was on Instagram
he
Live.
say-
We didn't put that out there that this young man was on
It was
Instagram
all
Live
recorded
recording
by him.
of him with one hand with the phone in one hand,
Yeah.
and you seemingly pushed your mom in another hand as you were arguing about the Saints and the Falcons. It's just stupid.
His mom in the video before he gets really close to his, or his mom gets close to him. You can hear him going back and forth about the Saints and the Falcons. His mom saying that whoever he's arguing with is just playing, and him saying, "No,
Yes,
he's
she's
not
saying
playing."
that.
I think King is.
He needs a good hemming up, to be honest with you. Out of everything that we've been seeing already, like that one right there needs. I don't know why he has this.
You know what's crazy?
I don't know what's going
Bravado.
on. Yeah, like
All right.
it's just a bit much coming from him, and you've had it all.
All right, so maybe he had it all. We also heard him out his mouth say he didn't grow up with his parents.
That is true.
We
And
didn't
he
hear
grew
that
up with his grandma and would only be with his parents when
during
he
the
was on
when the
TV shows.
movie or the show was.
I think King. I don't know anything, but you know what I'm saying. From outside looking in, I would say that he suffers from imposter syndrome, where you know what I'm saying. Like you just said that he has everything and he's always had everything. I don't think it necessarily was like that for him. Me personally, I don't know. I'm not sitting here acting like he was living in the hood and in the slums or whatever.
I think he really wishes he did, though.
Maybe.
I think whatever life that T.I. had prior to T.I. being T.I. is what King wished he probably
What
had.
if he grew up with his? What if he did grow up with his grandparents and his life is more? It's not like that. Like it's not like he was out here selling crack and selling weed. But what if he grew up rougher than you and I and extinct? And maybe he's portrayed as this kid that grew up with a silver spoon.
But
in
let's
his
be
mouth.
real. Like, do you really think as T.I. and all of them got these cameras and this big house and these, money
think-
flowing in from music and this that, and the third will really allow their son to live in a particular space where he's really struggling like that, whether he is with his grandparents or not? That just sounds crazy.
I don't think T.I. from where I'm from. I think T.I. is a good dude. So I think he's able to take care of his family. I also think that if King is 19, 20 years old, the time when he was probably between 5 and 8 and 9 would be when T.I. was going to jail. I would think.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be around the time T.I. was getting arrested, T.I. was going to jail, having
So
to
you
sit up.
think the lack of a father figure in
I
those
don't
like
think
really?
I don't think it was like of a father figure. I just think that when your dad has very, very serious things going on that could jeopardize your future and your family's future, maybe your emotional development takes the back burner. Well, I'm trying to focus on things.
I feel like you're trying to cape, and
I'm not trying to cape for
I understand.
Who,
wanting
for
to bring-
T.I.?
No, for King.
No, that's not, that don't make him good.
No. I understand wanting to layer context for things. I'm all for that, right?
Okay.
But I think just as I was a young, rebellious dude, son, whatever, there were times where my father didn't have to jump in because he wasn't around that often to jump in. But there are times that my mother had to, yoke me up against a wall or something like that to try to show like, yo, she ain't nothing to mess with,
Right.
And I think that there are time and place for everything. Like, yes, you could be getting an argument. First of all, we know that it's the Falcons and the Saints. The tension is already high. But and as young people, sometimes we don't understand or are able to see how we're perceiving. We are just trying to get our point across. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that could be embarrassing if you're a type of person who go from 0 to 100 real quick. Like if you're not able to regulate your emotions very well, like you could be saying like, yo, I'm just being passionate. Like he said something out of pocket or she said something out of
Standing on
pocket,
business.
and I'm gonna stand on my principle.
Yeah.
Now when your parent gets involved, right, and you move them out of the way,
You can't move them, Mom.
now you got a
Oh,
problem
yeah.
because at the
You're
end of the day,
doing a bit much.
not only is that your mother, but that's his wife,
Can I ask you something?
and his wife is gonna come before anybody. So when Tip comes in and yanks him up to show him like, hey yo, you gotta relax.
can't do nothing with me, boy.
You can't do.
You can't do
I
nothing with me, boy.
done met a whole lot of people bigger and stronger and
Yeah.
had to put them down. Like, and I think the same thing for me when it comes to my son. There are times where Malik is 7, he's on the spectrum. You know what I mean? Sometimes I gotta yoke him up so he knows like, hey, this is not safe for you to do. You gotta relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? All it takes, I'm not saying we need to be brutalizing and abusing our kids.
Right.
No, that's what I'm
But sometimes
You
all
gotta
you
get
need,
him the arm grab a little bit.
I'm with that
or
arm
lift,
grab.
all they gotta do lift them off their feet,
I ain't did that yet.
or put them in a certain move, so they know like, yo, this ain't
Hang 'em
this
out the window
this
while
ain't
you
what you,
drive.
and that's what I think Tip is doing. Tip is simply saying this ain't what you want right now.
Not in this
Yeah, all right,
place,
not-
not in this time, and
not
not in
All right,
this
so
way.
look,
or not with me. Period. Not with me.
All right, so look, y'all, all of us have argued with our parents.
Of
I don't know
course.
about you. I don't know about you, Desi. I don't know what it's like growing up with a girl. You grew up in a single parent home just like I did. I know your mom has gotten in your face before.
Of course.
And I know you've had to, Ma, please.
Yeah.
Please stop. Don't do this, please. Stop.
I blocked. Yeah.
Yes,
I-
every man
I
has
blocked my mom.
every
I got pushed
everybody
out.
exactly. Well,
Blocking,
exactly. I
blocking,
didn't-
is,
that
blocking,
didn't happen. I
is,
just blocked.
blocking is different
Then the quick
than
shove.
shoving.
Quick shove.
That's
He tried to create space. You shouldn't create space with your mom. Don't
just
do
gotta-
that.
you just
Don't
gotta-
do that in front of nobody. Listen, I'm definitely not shooting him down, but like he got to an argument with his parents.
Yeah.
He basically just got in an argument.
Do we not think King has this like rich kid syndrome where he?
That's
can do
why I
whatever
push
he
it
wants?
back on.
Where
I can't.
he feels like he can do whatever he wants. He can say
I-
whatever he wants. Then you have social media. You got people who probably be egging him on live. That's why he be on there so much.
I think he's a kid that is growing up in the social media era.
Thank
That's
you.
now with his parents who have money. He wants to be a rapper. He wants to have a claim and stuff, so he does certain things to appear a certain way in his head. It usually don't come off like that.
I don't think.
However he looks in his head, it doesn't like come out of his mouth like that. For him to look the way he thinks he looks in his head, like to him, he probably think he looked good right there until his dad, you know what I'm saying, brought the hand of God down on him.
But I don't think King is any different from any kid
Me
who's
either.
a teenager
Me either.
who feels like he's right. He
And
feel
I-
like
exactly.
and whatever he was arguing about,
He probably would have died over it.
he felt like he was justified in that. And yo, respect if that's how you feel. But first of all, over Saints and the Falcons is nothing that
It's the
serious.
principle.
And
It
then
probably wasn't the- it probably wasn't the game.
second of all, we're around different people, and unfortunately, bro, you have a different responsibility than others.
So
You
I
know
just
what I'm
want
saying?
I want to know. So where do you draw the line? You know what I'm saying? With getting physical with your kids. What age was too old for you to feel like you too old to be grabbing your son up, or you know what I'm saying, getting into fights with your kids?
Based on the way I grew, ain't no age.
It's never an age.
Ain't never an
Okay.
age where you can't
I think
let
it's
them
an
know
age.
like you want the smoke.
I think if you taking care of yourself, nobody should be putting hands on you.
I mean, yeah, but what happens if even if you taking care of yourself, you get out of pocket with your wife, or your mom, or you think you can just, even though you grown, you think you can just sit in there.
At that point,
as your father, I'm
treated
still
like a man.
Exactly. So you ain't never you ain't never too old.
Okay.
To
Because
get
at that point, you're not like all I'm saying is it shouldn't be like some belittling thing. But if you do something that's disrespectful, just in general, like if you was just a random person on the street and I would correct it, then I'm gonna correct it even if you my child.
because it's better that I do it
Than somebody else.
than the law do it, or
Exactly.
somebody else do it who ain't gonna have the same type of sympathy or the same type
So
of
we want
compassion.
to-
I'm grabbing on you, but it ain't that hard. Like,
Right,
But we
right.
want-
Tip,
all right, so
tip.
say
I
this
mean,
not his
I
parents.
saw.
It's a little headlock.
It's a little headlock. He ain't
It's hard
put him.
wrestling.
You heard
He
him
ain't,
talking to him?
he ain't putting
You
him
heard
to
him
sleep.
talking to him?
Of
Y'all
course.
ever see ATL when he had Anthony? It was basically like, I swear to God, it was
Yeah.
just like that when he was like, man, he was getting up in there, bro.
Yeah,
but
but-
I was, man, look.
Now, if
man,
he would have started, if Tip would have started boxing him,
That's a different thing.
in
That
the
would've been
box,
fire.
in the box,
that would have been fire. Y'all lying.
that would have been
That would've been
that
fire.
would have been
That
wild,
would've been
and we would have
heartbreaking.
we would be having a whole another
What?
situation.
You just was saying he been tripping. Why
No,
was
it was
boxing-
honestly, this whole situation just looks crazy, and it is heartbreaking that this boy has to sit here and be on social media and expose everything, family business, all of that, just for the
I don't
sake
think
of.
T.I. knew.
He didn't know.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
don't think
saying.
T.I. knew.
King did.
King
King
knew.
did. That's the heartbreaking part about it, is that he's so cool with exposing the family business like that. That's not okay. That is heartbreaking when your family is out here to expose you.
You know it's serious when your mama grab you by the ears to try to calm you down and look you in your eyes. It's not that serious, baby. He
And
just
at that
was
point, you
hell
should
no.
be like, you know what? Okay, Mom, you right. You know, like, and I know
Like,
that's not really the.
That's not how that
That's
works.
not realistically
Yeah,
how
no.
it would be.
'Cause I
But if a
remember-
mom is literally telling you, like, yo,
But I'm heated and I'm standing on business.